everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Conversation with the Love Crusader. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you. It's the New Year 2026, and I'm super excited to welcome you to another edition of Conversation with the Love Crusader. I am super happy that you made it to the new year, and therefore grateful to God on your behalf that you've made it till today. If you're coming across this platform for the first time, it's called Conversation with the Love Crusader. It's a platform where we talk about love, we talk about life, we talk about relationships, and we try to have fun while doing so. Um, just to let you know that we are growing as a community, and I want to especially welcome every single one of our new subscribers to the community. And if you are also a returning subscriber, I welcome you. Very, very happy to have you on the platform. Yes, so we're just going to have a conversation today, hopefully, something that I would set as a background for further conversations with others. We're going to have other speakers come up next week to elaborate more on the conversation. And the topic today is better love, better us, doing relationships differently this new year. It's better love, better us, doing relationships differently this new year. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. And we promise to always give you good content about love, about life, and relationships. Okay, let's try to talk about New Year. We know the New Year is always a time, for reflection. People begin to think about in those days what was really popular. I don't know if it's still popular where you are. What was really popular was the New Year resolutions. So people start talking about, oh, this new year, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that and I'm going to be on that and I will stop doing this and I will start doing that. So it's like the new year is always an opportunity to start thinking of what we are doing next, or what we want to be doing next, or what we can be doing next. So, have you made any New Year resolutions? Let's start from there. Have you made any New Year resolutions yourself? Do you have anything that you have said, oh, I'm going to be doing this differently this year, or I'm going to stop doing this, or I'll start doing that? Not to bust your bubble. Statistics and research tells us that over only about 8% of New Year resolutions actually make it to the end of the year. Ooh. Only about 8% of New Year resolutions actually make it to the end of the year. So, what usually happens? Why is it, or why does it feel like New Year resolutions don't last? Or people make these resolutions but are not able to keep them or see them through. Maybe they lack the courage. Maybe they get tired somewhere. Maybe what should we say? They forget. They start and forget. I'll give an example. One of the easiest things that people always start and stop, I think, is living healthy. So you hear people talk about, oh, making it to the gym this year. I'm going to go to the gym this year. People talk about I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to eat more healthy this year. I'm going to stop eating junk, or maybe stay off carb. And many times, it feels like it's not happening. People begin to fall off the wagon. So, I mean, feel free to share if you've that kind of experience, if you've had that kind of experience where you've said, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and you end up not doing it. And what happened? Why did it fail? Why did it fall apart? The resolution. Okay, we're not talking about New Year resolutions today. Actually, we're talking about better love, better us, doing relationships differently. Now, it's a popular saying, and I agree with the saying, that if you keep doing this, it's foolishness to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. To keep doing something the same way and expect a different result. So, on that premise, we're thinking today, what can you do differently in terms of your relationships? What can I do differently in 2026 to better my relationship, to better my love life, to ensure that, I live the best? I always say to you that relationships are not meant to be endured, but to be enjoyed. To ensure that I enjoy my relationship, what can I do differently? So that's basically the question that we're asking ourselves today. And we just, like I said again, I'm laying the foundation. We're going to continue this conversation through this month, just trying to guide us to talk about what we think we can do differently. So the question, first of all, to ask yourself is, where am I in my love journey? In your relationship, do you have a reflective time? Do you have a time when you sit down and think and say, okay, where are we in this relationship? How are we doing with this relationship? Are we better? Are we not better? What can we do better? Do we ask ourselves that question? So that's where to start from. Have you done that? If you've not done that, I'm going to encourage you to do so, to think about what you need to do. No, where you are, first of all, where are you in your relationship now? Where are you? What can you say about, where you are? Are you in the best place with your relationship? Are you on the verge of giving up on that relationship? Or maybe you are single and you're not in a relationship at all. Or you are in a relationship but not in a relationship. You know, you're in a situationships, like some people will say. Maybe you're in a situationship. What really is the status? So that's where we start from. What is the status of your relationship? If you can first do that reflective work and be able to ask yourself genuinely and sincerely where you are in terms of your relationship, then you can now start to talk about what you can do to make things better. Some of us ended 2025 on not so good notes. We ended 2025 maybe in a bad place in our relationship, or some have given up. As far as relationship is concerned, some have already given up. But I always believe, and of course that's why we have mend fences. I always believe that fences can be mended if both parties are willing to work at it. My key there is always both parties, not one person. Relationships don't work when one person is working and the other is not. It takes two to tango, and it's on the premise of that we're saying, what can we do differently? So if you are in a relationship, maybe do well to share this link with your partner. If you're married, your husband is by you, you're married, your wife is by you. You both can choose to, join, subscribe to this podcast, and let's listen. Let's talk to ourselves and talk about what we can do differently. We want the best result for 2022. Our goal is to achieve the best in terms of our relationship and what God has proposed for us, and what God intended for us as a people in our relationship. And so we need to decide to work on it, to improve, to make it better as a people. So let's get into it. Firstly, let's talk about our relationships in general. What can we do differently? If you're online and you want to leave a comment on what you think we can do differently, please, I'm happy for you to do so. Just leave your comment for us and I'll read it out and we can talk about it. Or maybe you have a question, you have a specific situation, you want us to speak to that situation specifically, then please do send in, send in your talk and then we'll talk about it. So let's begin by talking about friendships. So I'm not just talking about being single or being married. Now, generally, as a person, knowing that you are not an island, I'm not an island. I need people, you need people, and we need to make friends. We're expected to make friends. What can you do better with your friendship in 2026? What can I do better? When I was preparing for this, I really reflected on what I as a person can do better. So let me start by indicting myself. I am not very good with phone calls. I'm not good at calling people. And I think I need to improve my communication in 2026, to just be able to reach out more to my friends, to reach out more. I did a bit of it. I improved actually in 2025. I had more of coffee time with friends, should I say, yeah, I think 2025 was a much more better year for me networking with people, but I still want to do more in terms of maybe phone calls, in terms of intentionally organizing time out with friends, being there for them. That's one aspect for me that I think I need to improve in my friendships in 2026. I don't know about you. We can also judge less in 2026. There are people who have concluded about you. They have, would I say, thoughts, bias. That's what I'm looking for. This year, 2026, we can improve our friendships and our relationships by removing bias. Sometimes people sit in their house and conclude about others, and without really asking first. That's another lesson that we all need to learn, that you ask before you conclude. You talk to people, you ask questions, you find out why they do what they do, so as to be able to improve your relationship, rather than sit down where you are and conclude that this is why the people do what they do, or this is why they are behaving the way they behave. It's always good to ask questions. It's always good to ask people before concluding. And again, that's something that can improve our friendship in 2026. Don't conclude, don't malice, don't gossip, don't conclude on someone's behavior. And somebody will say, oh, I greeted her, she did not respond. If you're going to be a friend, or you expect people to be your friend, then you yourself have to be friendly. Give people grace. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Give people grace and benefit of doubt. It could be that they're just having a bad day. It's not always about you, you know, unless this person has proven over time that they somewhat have whatever issues with you. It's not okay to just conclude without asking or without making, clarifying issues, communicating clearly. Assumption is one major thing that destroys relationships. And I'm not just talking about marital relationship. I'm talking about the general friendship, relationship with your friends, relationship with your colleagues at work. When you already have a biased mindset, or you're always assuming this is the reason why someone is doing this, you could be wrong. That may not be their reason, and it's always good to give that benefit of doubt. What you can also do to improve your relationships in general in 2026 is to set boundaries. Set boundaries. Now, this might mean that, as much as we're saying, oh, be friendly, make friends, this might mean that you might have to cut off some people from your life in 2026. If there's that one person, that two persons that is always bringing negative energy around you, there are some people who are never joyful. You're never enough. They'll keep you on edge. They make you unhappy. You're always second guessing yourself. You're always doubting yourself around them. 2026 is the year to set your boundaries with such people and cut them off. Yes, it's also love. It's part of love, self-love, to cut off people who gives you negative vibe, consistently give you negative vibe, consistently give you bad energy and bad aura. It's part of love, it's part of self-love, it's part of loving them from afar. Because I'm sure they themselves will not want to always be in that space where you and them are forever having that friction. No one wants to live in a place where there's constant friction. So sometimes it's necessary, and it could be important. It could be necessary for us to go our separate ways, and let there be no strife, and still live as brethren. So that's another thing we can do. You can set boundaries. You can set these boundaries and make it very, very clear. Make your boundaries very clear. Self-respect, self-worth. Yeah, because we're trying to make friends doesn't mean that you should lose yourself. Or because we want that relationship to be good doesn't mean that we should lose our self-worth in the relationship. It means that we even respect ourselves enough to be able to say, this is what I can take, this is what I cannot take. And this is making my life, this is not helping my life, this is making my life worse. So in 2026, one of the things you should do to help your relationship is set that boundary and be able to say, okay, it's enough. Some of us have allowed some people to stay in our space for too long. There are people that God sent to our lives for a season. And when that season is over and we continue to hold on, we continue to want to, keep the relationship, then, because their time in your life is over, it becomes more of a, they become more of a bad, how would I put it? Rather than be a profit to you or benefit to you, they begin to pull you out. They begin to pull you down. Stop holding on to what God's let go. And I know that sounds like a sermon. Boy, to anyone who would like to hear, I think that's a sermon that you can hold on to for 2026. Stop holding on to those relationships. Stop forcing what is not there. It's hard to hear. And I know, we always want everyone to be friends with us. We want to keep our friendship. And why not, if not? But not all friendship are meant to last a lifetime. Ooh, sorry to burst your bubble. Yes, not all friendships are meant to last. In fact, the mistake we make at the beginning is there are people who are supposed to be our acquaintances. not our friends. Differentiate it. It's part of the boundaries you need to set in 2026. Know those who are your acquaintances and those who are meant to be your friends. You can have lots of acquaintances, but ensure that your friend is that cycle, that tiny, strong cycle of people who will go any length for you, who are loyal to you, who will do anything for you. Those are your friends. Those are your friends. And you have to hold on to that cycle of your friends. Don't make your acquaintances friends. If you do that, you end up pouring more into the relationship because they are not seeing you as friends. They are not seeing you, the way you see them, and you end up working and working and working. I mean, I was speaking with a young lady, and she was saying to me, I feel like I'm always giving in my relationship and I don't get back. Now, that's a good evaluation. If you're feeling that way, you need to step back. Step back in that relationship and evaluate it. Why? Because a relationship should be give and take. Relationships should give and take. It should not just be giving and giving and giving and giving. If you are on that end of the spectrum, constantly and always giving without receiving, it's time to reevaluate yourself in 2026, because you will note that you will become easily depleted, you will lose energy, it becomes more challenging for you, and friendships are supposed to build you, not become a challenge. Okay. The other aspect of it is also, we're talking about better love, better us, how to do relationships differently in 2026. If you've not shared our link, please do so. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share the link, invite someone, tell them about it, put them on your status, put it on your platforms, let your friends be aware. I'm sure some of your friends will benefit from joining this podcast. Please also remember to subscribe while you're here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us, follow us on Facebook, on TikTok, and join join our community. You will be glad you did. And again, if you have any questions, you have any comments, thank you. Divney Beauty 6234. She said, so true, yes. And I think she's confirming the fact that we need to set boundaries for our friendships and our relationships in 2026. In 2026, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let's know you're here. Let's know you're here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Your comments, your feedback, they all help us to do better. So please leave your feedback, leave a comment while you're here, and let us know how we are doing. I am setting the boundaries today, setting the foundation, not boundaries, sorry. I am setting the foundation for the conversation about being better in our relationship this new year. We have said it's a new year. We want to do better. We don't want to repeat the same mistakes, because we know that we cannot continue to do things the same way and expect a different result. So, what can we do to make it better in 2026? And we're just talking about friendships generally now. We've not come into the conversation around what I can do better as a single. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what I can do better as a married man or woman in my marriage. So you see, we're going to be doing this conversation the whole month, like I said, and I'm just laying the foundation for it today. I'll have other guest speakers who will come talk to us, other Sundays of the month. We are live every Sunday at 5 p.m. UTC. C. So let's continue the conversation talking about what can we do better in 2026 with our relationships. We've said one, we should communicate better. We should remove assumptions, take away assumptions and bias, ask questions before we conclude. And we've also said we should set boundaries. Set boundaries. Make it clear what you can take, what you cannot take. Make it clear what works for you as a person, because a relationship is not meant to drain you. It's actually meant to make you better, feel better, and be better. Okay, next we're going to talk about being accountable. Being accountable. For you to be a good friend and to maintain good friendship, you have to be someone who is accountable. What does it mean to be accountable? You have to be someone who accepts and admits when you are wrong and you apologize. Now, as simple as that sounds, that's not something that is so easy for a lot of people. I know, because I struggle with it. I struggled with it and I had to do conscious learning to be able to apologize. Most times I am tempted to want to explain away why I have done what I've done. But if this thing that I've done has made someone feel a certain way, then I owe it to them to be accountable, to take responsibility for the way that I've made them feel, for the way I have, hurt them, whether intentional or not, because maybe we didn't set out to hurt ourselves. But the truth is that somebody is now feeling hurt and they've made it clear. Because that's another thing. Remember, we started with clear communication. Some people will not even tell you they've been hurt. Anyways, and maybe the person that you think has hurt you does not even know they hurt you. Topic for another day. So, but if you've been made aware that you've hurt someone, then it behoves on me as a good friend to be able to say, I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I made you feel this way, and to apologize. But it's really, really hard for people. And for anyone who is going to be friends, or who is going to have friends, or who is going to make better friends in 2026, you must be quick to apologize. You must learn to say, oh, I'm sorry I made you feel this way, to be able to repair and rebuild relationship. That I am sorry, 3 words, right? The phrase is 3 words and it sounds so minute, but it's like an oil. There's a way it heals when you say, I am sorry. I was wrong. And I mean, when you're genuinely sorry, I was wrong. I should not have done it that way. I understand better and I'm going to do better. That eases the burden of someone. That makes them feel, lighter, feel better. For that alone, apologize. And also it releases yourself. People carry, I don't even know how they do it. How do you do it? You have a heart that is carrying this one. You're not talking to that one. You're keeping malice with this one. You're fighting with that one. How do you live? How do you survive? How are you able to be healthy? What lifestyle do you live? Oh, I don't know how you do it. In 2026, one of the best gifts that you can give yourself will be to let go of those hurts. Apologize when you need to. Accept apology when people apologize to you. That's the other aspect of it. Apologize when you need to. Accept apology. There are those that you apologize. You apologize from now till tomorrow, the matter will not finish. They still hold on to it. They are forever bitter. Before you know, that little grudge becomes resentment, becomes bitterness. And when you see them, their faces are forever like this, they don't smile, they are not happy. They are always sad. They have become sadists. We cannot go through life without people hurting us. One true fact that you must remember: There is no way you will go through life without people hurting you. At one time or the other, someone will offend you, and you would even offend someone. What helps us is when we're able to come back and say, I'm sorry, when we're able to forgive ourselves, when we're able to now move on from that hurt and move on from that offense. But if we continue to hold on to it and we continue to think, oh, I'm never letting go of this offense, then, we can never make good friends. We can't have good friendship. We'll just have people who are pretending to be happy. And of course, people will not be happy. So I'm trying to give us a background to some of the things we can do differently in 2026, this new year. All right. I am going to take a short break and we'll come back to answer some of your questions. If you have a question, and also to take some of your comments if you have a comment, because I have been talking and this is a conversation. We need to talk together. So I need you to talk to me. I need you to talk to me, talk back to me. I want to take your feedback. I want to take your comment. I also want to give you a minute to go share the link. Please share a moment to subscribe, to, call your friends and tell them about this platform. I will be... All right. Welcome back. And if you're just joining, we are talking today about better love, better us, doing relationships better in 2026. It's a new year and it's on the backdrop of the fact that if we continue to do things the same way, we cannot expect a different result. So we are talking about things that we can improve upon, things we already know and we're doing, or things we are not doing that we need to start doing. I mean, learning every day is how we grow. Learning every day is how we grow. And if we stop learning, then we are as well dead. So in 2026, we're learning how we're going to improve our relationships with colleagues, with our friends, with our boyfriends, with our husbands, with our wives, and what we need to do differently. We have talked about communicating better in 2026, communicating without bias, without assumptions, and being able to give people grace. We've talked about asking before we conclude in our relationship, asking people questions as to why they do what they do, before we conclude. We've also talked about setting boundaries, for our relationships in 2026. We've talked about being accountable, being responsible, accepting when we're wrong, apologizing when we need to, speaking the truth to ourselves and to our friends, to check in on our friends. You cannot say you're my friend, you're not checking in on me. You're not checking in on me. I'm checking in, I'm not checking in on you. How can we be friends if we don't check in? We might not talk every day. I mean, when you become adults, I saw it written somewhere that we have to accept that part of adulthood is that we don't get to talk to ourselves every day. But friends check in on themselves. Friends check in on each other. And if you say someone is your friend, then you should always check in on this person, and the person should also do the same, check in on you. When I started earlier, I was saying to you that one problem or one challenge that I had as a person is that I'm not so good with phone calls. I'm not so good with reaching out to people. And I remember I shared that with my mom, and she said, "Oh, well, why don't you start with monthly greetings?" So every month I try to send that greeting to say, Happy New Month. And that is like me checking in. That is me saying, I'm sending you a prayer for the new month. I'm sending you a blessing for the new month. And I realized that it does work. A lot of people send me the messages back. And there are some people that when they get the message, it opens us up an opportunity for a conversation. Oh, long time. How have you been? How is your family? How are your children? Hello, no man is an island. We all need these things. We all need those things. We need our friends to check in on us. We also need to check in on our friends. So if you're going to be friendly and you're going to do your relationship better in this new year, you must be someone that checks in on your friend. Whatever method you want to use, whatever mechanism that works for you, it's fine to use it. But I've shared with you how I now do it to try to keep in touch with my friends, with my contacts, with my fans, with my colleagues. Just send that message to say, Happy New Month, how are you doing? And all that. So we must always check in. Check in even when it's not convenient. Loving someone is not about when it's convenient for you, when it works for you, when it's good for you, And it's not about, only when you can get something from someone. There are people who only remember your phone number when they want to get something from you, when they need you for something. That's not friendship. That's actually taking. And no relationship is meant to be a one-sided taking relationship. You're always taking, always taking, always taking. What do you give? If you're doing relationship, someone is your friend, but you never give, you're always taking from that person. That's not a relationship. And then the one that is even worse, I'm going to say it. Yes, people will not like it, but I'm just going to say it. The one that is worse is the moment they are no longer able to take that thing from you. That's all. The relationship or friendship is gone. The love has soured. Once they are unable to use you further, that's the trait of users. They want to come into your life. They want you to do and do and do and do. Be there for them. Speak to them. Give to them, whether it's money or your time. Give them advice. Pray with them. Always give and give and give. And they are taking and taking and taking. In 2026, I pray you will repent from that kind of behavior, because love is give and take. Give first, then take. You cannot be in a relationship. You cannot say someone is your friend and all you do is take and take and take and take. Or you are only their friend when it's convenient. No. Love is being intentional about being there for someone even when it's not convenient for you. So that's what we're going to be doing better, hopefully, in this new year. Oh, okay. Celebrate others. That's another thing that I would like to highlight for 2026. Do you know how to celebrate others? Or you only know how to celebrate yourself? A person who is selfish is not going to be able to do relationships well in 2026. In this new year, you need to remove yourself and start celebrating others. Celebrate the little wins of others. Celebrate the things that they do. I'm a very, very big believer in celebrating people, in giving people a platform, in announcing others, because I believe that it's a seed that will announce me. That is the truth. When you celebrate others, you will be celebrated yourself. Take away selfishness from your relationship. Don't let it be about me, I. Think about the other person. Put yourself in the shoes of the other person. I know that some of the things we're counting now would also work in practice with your marital, your romantic or love relationships. But I'm just speaking today in the general sense of it. Sometimes all you need is to find someone else to pour into. You're too full. Pour into someone else. Celebrate someone else's little wins. Celebrate their little goals. Some people are so, I don't know whether it's envy, that envy spirit. They're so envious. And unfortunately, this happened more with my gender. Women. That is why they started talking about women celebrating women. It had to become a slogan. Because many times you go out there, it is a fellow woman who would want to be the clog in the wheel of your growth. 2026, we're not going to do this. We're going to celebrate ourselves. We're going to grow ourselves. We're going to improve ourselves and improve others. In 2026, we'll find someone that we would mentor. We'll find someone that we will use our time to make their life better. We'll find ways to help them improve their skills. We'll find ways to point to others. And yes, before you come for me, I know it's not easy, because many times or sometimes you're pouring into people and the people can be ungrateful. You pour into some people and they give you back, they give you back, they pay you back evil for good. And this can become a discouraging factor for those of us who are good at pouring into others, who are good at celebrating others. But let me encourage you, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't be discouraged. Somehow, God has a way of paying you back. Okay, some people don't believe in God. They say the universe. Natural law of karma has a way of paying you back. So if you're that one who is good at celebrating others, that one who is good at pouring into others, that one who is good at paving the way, making the way for others to grow, making the ways for others to shine. You hear of something good, you want to share it with others. Just keep doing it. Even if no one recognizes it now, even if no one is talking about it now, even if it appears that, you don't get a thank you for it now, just continue. One day, your reward will come. One day, recognition will come for all that you're doing. And it will be bigger than what a man would have done for you. It will be bigger than you expect. Don't just give up. Keep being good. Keep being good to people, even if they are not good to you. This is what you can do in 2026 to better and improve your relationships. Okay, so we're talking about today, better love, better us, doing relationships differently in this new year. What do you think you as a person should do differently in 2026? Let me just highlight a few things for the singles. My time is almost up. As a single person, singles, come nearer. Come near, come and listen. As a single person who has said 2026, I am going to get married, or at the end of 2026, I should have a stable relationship. If that's your goal. The first thing you need to do is to become visible. Visible. So where are you? Where can we find you? Where can you be located? Where can you find the type of person that you are looking for? If you are single, you're not going out, you're single, you don't mingle, you're single, you don't have a social media handle, in this age and time, You are doing yourself a disservice. And I think that's the only point I'll talk about before we continue next week. Again, like I said, next week I will not be here alone. We're going to have people, speakers that will join me, and we will do better justice to this topic, talking about better love, better us, doing relationships differently in the new year. The only key that I'm giving to the singles is, first, be visible. Be visible. And again, there's no way I'm going to separate my faith. So I'm just going to talk about the story of Ruth, which is a well-known story. Ruth was, with her mother-in-law that no longer had sons. The sons were dead, which meant that there was no hope of her remarrying. But she did not sit down at home. She went out into the fields. And it was while she was working in the fields out there that Boaz noticed her. So I am speaking to you, a single sister, single brother. Please be out there in the right field. Be visible. 2026. There is somebody looking for you, for all the qualities that you have. There is a brother that is praying. I mean, you are somebody's prayer topic. There's a sister that is praying for the qualities you have as a man. But the truth is that if you don't make yourself visible, they are not going to see you. Part of making yourself visible is breaking off from unprofitable relationships. So if you are single, come close, hear me. You are single, you've been in a relationship now that is not going anywhere. 2 years, 3 years, is not proposing. She is giving you, green light today, red light tomorrow. Mixed signals. You continue to stay there. It's time to break off from time wasters. Because in the long run, you are not married, you're not single. Everyone sees you as being in a relationship. You have a brother, but brother is not brothering. Sister, let go of that friendship. No matter how much you think that friendship is good to you, it's only doing you harm in the long run. I know of a sister that was very, very close with a brother. They were always together. We all thought they were dating. Everyone thought they were dating. All we were waiting for was proposal. We were waiting for this brother to propose. And years down the line, I'm talking close to 5 years later, this brother, was saying, I never asked her out. We were never dating. She's not my girlfriend. And the sister was heartbroken. The truth is, they were visiting each other. They were very close. She was cooking for him. She was doing, but he never asked her out. He never said, be my girlfriend. He never made a commitment to marry her. If you are in that kind of relationship, how did they used to say it? Even the one that have committed to marry you and has given you a ring, but is not moving forward, don't become the Lord of the ring. They say Lord of the Rings. Don't become the Lord of the Rings that is not moving forward. Singles, part of visibility this year is that you will not sit down and allow anybody waste your time. Happy New Year to you too, Huda TV. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for your comments. Part of being visible this year is that you will not waste your time on unprofitable relationships. Single sister, single brother. If that relationship is not going anywhere, please remove yourself from it. No matter how much this brother seems like he's the one, if he's not wanting, if he's not moving, truth is, it doesn't take more than 6 months for a man to know this is the woman he's going to marry. This is the reason why you find out some guys will be in a long relationship with some ladies. The moment they break up with them, few months down the line, they marry someone else. The truth is that from the beginning, they've already seen that you are not their spec. You are not, they don't want to marry you. So if you've been in a relationship, and I say it boldly, if you have been in a relationship for the past 1 year, 2 years, sister, you've already stayed too long. It doesn't have to be that long for the person to marry you. So part of being visible in 2026 is that we're going to do away with every unprofitable relationship. No room for time wasters. My mom used to call them bus conductors. They are not traveling. They are not giving up the seat. And if you are that kind of brother, I bind you in 2026. Repent. Get out of their life. If you know you're not going to marry her, stop wasting her time. Stop wasting her time. Stop dating. Stop sitting down there. Don't give her a ring and not move. He says there, it's not engagement ring, it's promise ring. I don't know which one is promise ring. You are dating someone. The goal of the relationship should be marriage. If it's not marriage, what are you people dating for? And if you've decided, okay, you're dating for marriage, you've done 1 year. In fact, you've done 6 months. You should be taking the relationship to the next level. 2026, don't be the patient girlfriend who sits down. I think people know one story. I don't want to say it, but you people know. Those of us who are from my country, is trending. One person sat down, did relationship with a man. I don't care whether I call himself man of God or man of whatever. That title doesn't move me, because every man is first a man. But you sat down with a man and you did 7 abortions. Hello, 7 abortions. I don't know whether that girl's mother is still alive. For a man, when you did abortion 1 and you did abortion 2, that did not tell you that this man does not love you. A man who loves you will not allow you to go through that kind of pain consistently, shedding your womb, shedding blood in the name, unless there's more to it. Anyway, so like I said again, I don't want to go there, but I've gone there. Don't sit down and start regretting later. 2026 is your year to be decisive. This relationship, where is it going? If the person said they are not ready yet, but they love you, let them come back when they are ready. If they are yours, they will come back. If they are not yours, let them go, so that the person who is really yours can come in, and then we can celebrate you, and then we can stop praying. Because some of us are praying, but we're not adding the works. Faith without works, they say, is dead. The work aspect is what we are talking about on this platform. This year now, we are going to pray. As we've entered January, in many churches now, there will be fasting, there will be prayers, long fasting. What else can we do? What steps can we take? When God is doing his own, what can we be doing as people on our path? Okay, this is where I'm going to stop today. Like I've said from the onset, this year, this topic, we are going to be talking about it, through this month of January, every Sunday through this month of January. We've just started scratching the surface. And the topic that we're talking about is better love, better us. How can we do relationships differently in the new year? What can I do differently? How can I change? How can I change? What can I change about my relationship? What am I doing well that I need to improve on? What am I not doing that I need to start doing? What am I doing that is bad that I need to eliminate? So that is what we are doing. We are reflecting on our relationship, and we're talking about how we can make it better in the new year. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everyone for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Please again remember to subscribe, join our community on YouTube, join us on TikTok, on Facebook. Leave your comment, leave your questions. Our premarital classes are running. If you want to, get married, we advise you to come and do some premarital classes and be prepared for what marriage really is before you get into it. Remember, knowledge is power. What you don't know, you fear. Many people tell you, we fear marriage. It's because you don't know. So come and equip yourself for marriage, and you will not have reasons to be afraid of marriage. Rather, you would be one of those doing it well. And we also do other counseling, not just premarital. So if you are having relationship challenges, in fact, you don't need to have relationship challenges. If you just need to talk to someone, you and your spouse, you and your husband, you need to talk to someone, we are available. Our phone number is on our Facebook page. Just go there and send a WhatsApp message from anywhere in the world and you get me directly. And by God's grace, God will grant us the wisdom to deal with whatever issues that you bring. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for joining us. We will come your way again next week by the grace of God, 5 p.m. every Sunday. And God bless you as you join. Have a love-filled week. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching today's video. We appreciate you. Kindly remember to subscribe and share so you can get notification every time we post new videos. Our promise is to ensure that you flourish in love, in life, and in your relationships. See you next week.